In a controversial move that has sent shockwaves through the environmental community, former President Trump has just signed the Carbon Explosion Order, effectively declaring a national energy emergency in the United States. This sweeping directive revokes critical climate policies, supports controversial projects like the Keystone XL pipeline, and relaxes environmental regulations. As the administration pushes for increased fossil fuel exports and opposes renewable energy initiatives, the implications for climate change mitigation and the global energy market are profound. In today's video, we'll unpack the key components of this order and discuss its potential impact on America's energy landscape and beyond. 1. Declaration of a national energy emergency. In tandem with the withdrawal, the Trump administration declared a national energy emergency. This declaration was aimed at expediting the permitting processes for oil, gas, and power projects, effectively boosting domestic fossil fuel production. The administration's focus on accelerating these projects was seen as a move to ensure energy independence and economic growth. Critics argue that this emphasis on fossil fuels could have long-lasting ecological consequences. The revving up of fossil fuel production is akin to opening the floodgates, where short-term gains are prioritized over the long-term health of the planet. 2. Revocation of climate policies. President Trump also repealed a host of climate-focused executive orders from the previous administration. These orders included directives that were central to reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promoting renewable energy development. The revocation of these policies signifies a clear pivot away from prioritizing environmental sustainability. Supporters of these repeals argue for economic growth and job creation as primary benefits. However, environmental advocates fear this could set back progress made in recent years towards achieving a cleaner, greener future. 3. Support for Keystone XL pipeline. In a move that surprised few, the Trump administration revitalized the Keystone XL pipeline project. This controversial pipeline aims to transport oil from Canada to the United States, bypassing previous environmental concerns and cancellations. Proponents argue that the pipeline will create jobs and secure energy resources. Yet, environmentalists warn of potential ecological damage and the exacerbation of climate change. The pipeline has become a symbol of the administration's commitment to fossil fuel infrastructure over environmental preservation. 4. Relaxation of environmental regulations. The Interior Department, under the Trump administration, initiated measures to deregulate the energy sector. This included lifting restrictions on offshore oil and gas development, with a keen eye on enhancing resource extraction in Alaska. The deregulation is seen as a boon for energy companies looking to expand operations. However, the relaxation of these regulations raises alarms about the potential risks to marine life and the fragile Arctic ecosystem. The balance between economic interest and environmental stewardship appears to be tipping towards the former. 5. Increased fossil fuel exports. The administration moved swiftly to accelerate permits for liquefied natural gas, LNG, export terminals. The goal was clear: to boost U.S. fossil fuel exports to global markets. By increasing exports, the U.S. aims to assert itself as a dominant player in the global energy market. Yet, the increase in fossil fuel exports could potentially lead to higher greenhouse gas emissions, counteracting efforts to mitigate climate change. The global community watches closely as the U.S. redefines its role in the energy sector. 6. Opposition to renewable energy initiatives. The administration's policies have faced criticism for deprioritizing renewable energy projects. This shift could hinder progress toward achieving clean energy goals. Renewable energy advocates argue that investments in solar, wind, and other green technologies are crucial for a sustainable future. The opposition to these initiatives may slow down the transition to a low-carbon economy, raising concerns about the long-term impacts on the environment and public health. The debate between fossil fuels and renewables continues to be a contentious issue. 7. Impact on climate change mitigation. Environmental groups are voicing concerns that the administration's focus on fossil fuels may undermine efforts to combat climate change. The potential increase in greenhouse gas emissions poses a significant threat to global climate goals. These groups argue that the prioritization of fossil fuels over sustainable alternatives could lead to dire consequences for the planet. As the world grapples with the realities of climate change, the US's policy shift adds another layer of complexity to global mitigation efforts. 8. Global energy market implications. The shift in U.S. energy policy is expected to have far-reaching effects on global energy markets. The potential increase in oil production and exports may influence global oil prices and international climate agreements. Countries around the world may need to adjust their strategies in response to the U.S.'s new direction. The dynamics of the global energy market are constantly evolving, and this latest development adds another variable to the equation. The international community must navigate these changes while striving to uphold climate commitments. 9. Reversal of fuel economy standards. In a final stroke, the administration directed the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to rescind or replace current fuel economy standards. This reversal could lead to increased vehicle emissions, further complicating efforts to reduce the nation's carbon footprint. The move is seen as a nod to the automotive industry, prioritizing economic factors over environmental considerations. The potential rise in emissions highlights the ongoing tension between economic growth and environmental responsibility. As these policies unfold, the world watches closely, aware of the profound impact they may have on the planet's future.